Good morning, everybody. So good to see everybody. I don't know about you, but I love the way the chairs, we changed them last week. I wasn't sure if everybody else would, to try and play with how we can see each other a little better and feel more of the community. But I'm glad I didn't scare anybody away last week by, oh, you changed the chairs, I'm Reverend Jay Lang, and it's so good to see everybody here this morning, as well as everybody online. We appreciate you joining us in this beautiful celebration of spirit in our lives and celebration of freedom that we enjoy on this 4th of July weekend. So welcome, everybody, and so good to have Narayan and Janet back. They're going to open us up with some music now.
Would we like to stand for this? Let's all stand up, if we feel to, and sing together.
We are all connected
By the air we breathe in,
by the love we're feeling. We are all connected
by the air we breathe in,
by the love we're feeling.
That's right.
We are all connected by the air we're breathing, by the love we're feeling. We are all connected by the air we're breathing, by the love we're feeling,
By the love we're feeling.
Thank you so much. We are all connected. Oh, you're not going to stand up the whole service? Thank you for playing along this morning. It's always good to have people waking up and standing and feeling the spirit within them that is always present, always here. We like to begin each service with our vision and mission statement. Things seem to be out of order here. Here we go. We say our vision together. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. Thank you for affirming that with us. As we know, not only is it establishing a vision for our community, but it's establishing a vision hopefully for your life as well, to live intentionally and love unconditionally and seeing God in all people and all faiths. Today, after the service, right after the service, we're going to meet out in the courtyard for what we're calling a picnic potluck. If you didn't bring any food, that's okay. We're just coming together as a community to honor Ann Davis. Whether you knew Ann Davis well or not, she was a light in our community as well as a light in the bigger Napa Valley as the children's librarian for 30 years. And part of our community, she was just a joy, always had a smile, was always compassionate. So whether you knew her well or you did know her well, we're just coming together as a community to honor her and also a time just to be outside and enjoy. You don't have to have brought food. You don't have to know her as well. Just come out and we'll connect on this particular day and have people have a chance to share what they remember about Anne. We also had over the last couple of Sundays people that filled out cards in her honor, and we'll read those as well. Or if you were one of the persons that wrote them, you could get up and talk. We'll have a microphone out there. So thank you for being a part of that. And then we also don't have a lot going on in July. It's a beautiful day. I know I'm going to be gone I'll be here next Sunday, but a couple Sundays after that. Headed to Rhode Island to visit the first half of our grandkids, and then on to the Netherlands to see the other half of our grandkids. So it'll be a longer trip, but it'll be fun to to see our kids. Some of them I haven't seen for 3 years because of COVID. So Michelle's been a little more recent than I have. So, but I will be here next Sunday. And then on July 30th, I come in just in time. I'm so excited to come back for the Crush MS because it's such a glorious celebration, such a glorious cause to eradicate, do continued research and support for people who have MS. And it was at a height before COVID, and now they've kind of had different kinds of events, but now it's going to be an all in person all the way. So we're all going to enjoy that time we have together. And if you want to volunteer for that time, Karen Reed is right back here. Talk to her. We, as our community, part of our outreach is to volunteer for that. And I know I've done the raffle ticket sales for several years now, and I really enjoy that because I get to see everybody coming in and out, and it's a celebration of people as well as a really wonderful cause that we partner with. So thank you, Karen. Thank you for the founders, Kevin and Julie, that they've done that, and thank you for being a part of it as a community. We'll have new classes starting in August. Keep it tuned for that. And we'll have continuing meditation on Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock. There's an intro to meditation at 5:45 if you want to come a little early. Our Spanish-speaking meditations are continuing. Course in Miracles that is virtual now. Michael Coleman, who's our practitioner today, would be glad to share with you information about that, as well as something else that's continuing. I can't think of it right now, but anyway, the meditation and Spanish-speaking services that happen. So know that you can find support through practitioners after the service, or a prayer request in the lobby or online, or just to give the office a call if you need support of any kind. We're always there for you. You can find other information on our website. So with that, without further ado, we'll begin the sacred part of our service.
Smile on your brother. Smile on your sisters. Smile on your mothers, your fathers. Smile.
Together, so come on, be my friend. Just come on, come together. Come on and smile, and smile on your family. Smile on your friends. Smile on your neighbors. Smile, 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 smile together right now.
As we just drift into that consciousness, into that oneness, knowing that that divine spirit, that sacred energy is filling us up right now. Every molecule, every atom, every fiber within our being. Knowing that vibration is resonating within my mind, my body, my soul, and that connection that we lead together, that interdependence, that inner light. As we just let it open up, that heart, that flower, that resonation, going into the silence, knowing we are one. We are always, we are one. And just feel the silence right now. Let that vibration fill up every molecule in your body. As we bring ourselves back, ever so slowly, gently, kindly, we can open our eyes and be in this place right here, right now. And I thank you guys for the opening credits there, the opening music. We had a little chuckle when we got in here. You'll find out more about it later. In fact, a minute ago, I was thinking of Richie Havens. Sometimes I feel like I'm a motherless child. So happy, we're going on to the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. I came out with this little thing this morning. It's like when I go in, I like to depend on dance, you know? Yeah, there's my joke for today. Get independent dance. So come on, people now. Smile on your brothers and your sisters. Let's love one another right now. I remember in 9th grade, I was trying to learn the drum intro to that. And it took me about a day or so. It was really tricky hitting the snare and the hi-hat. It's been nice. I've been playing my drums every day now. I've moved over to Vacaville, and they're set up in I got a whole music studio going. We've been busy. So life today in all our affairs is better coordination, because it takes coordination to have unity. It takes coordination to build a community. It takes one another to build that trust and that loving kindness. So public speaking skills are often needed when all our collective wholeness to bring a change. One must manifest the energy to be the change agent, or a secret agent man, or a secret agent lady, huh? There, I like music. And I don't usually write a note, but the last few times I was up here, I always forgot what I was going to say. So today I want to show you a little compassion, yet stand firm in your belief. You know, we all have our beliefs. We all have our ideas about things, and it's okay to have them. You know, stand true to your whatever you feel like, but have an open mind to talking to others. That's the whole thing today. We need to talk more and more. Listen without attachment, or to bring our neighbor or our friend. Remember, all you need is love. So smile on your brother and thy love in one another right now, and try to love one another right. And one with spirit. So I'm going to do a little affirmation, and we're going to end it today. So it's good to be back in Napa. And this is a quick one. You can just repeat after me. We'll do a call out and a call back. So I am one with spirit. I am open-minded. And I let go. And release. And so it is. And I like all those smiles. It's good to see you today.
Love the smiles. Hey, if you have a light month in July, I just want to let you know you're invited. You're part of our community too. Tomorrow in Vacaville, if you want to go to a party with music we're playing and then fireworks afterwards, talk to me. It's at a friend's house. And then my birthday on July 15th, we're celebrating in Vacaville at Cafe Frida, 12 at noon to 2 o'clock, and you're all invited. So thanks for that. Because together we're better. And we love what you guys got going on in this community. It's great. Jay, you're awesome.
Okay, here's the joke, or not joke, but
Okay,
there's a word for this.
Michael. Ready?
Sing along with us if you know the words, and if you don't know the words. If you hear the song we're singing,
You can understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand.
if you want to stand up a little bit.
Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Gonna love one another right now.
We changed the words a little bit. We're gonna love one another. We're done trying.
Love is but the song we sing. Fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry.
Know the dove is on the wing.
You may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Gonna love one another right now. Some may come and some may go. We should surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, at last. We are but a moment's sunlight, sparkling in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Gonna love one another right now.
Smile on your sisters.
Come on, people now, smile on your sisters. Everybody get together. Gonna love one another right now. Smile on your brothers, smile on your sisters, right now.
That's great. Nothing like a little 60s and 70s music to bring back the oneness, right? I know that was before some of your times. I'd look out there, but I know others of you were going, yeah, I know this song. So that's great. That's great. It's good to have everybody here today. I hope you know what a blessing this community is. Our new theme this month is Better Together. And I think we are better together. That we can offer emotional and spiritual support for each other, and I'm grateful. I'm now coming upon Michelle's my 8th year being here. Usually the anniversary is, it's the first Sunday in August. It's kind of the unofficial time. And it's great to be in this community. I just love and adore this community. We have been working with Centers for Spiritual Living, their themes, and we changed them a little bit, but basically we're moving around the wheel. Once again, here it is, July. So as I mentioned, the month where our theme is Better Together. We've gone from intentional living, inner life, playful spirit, living in the light, feeling and healing, proud to be me, and now we're moving into this Better Together. And what a lovely thought about this is, I know that right now it's a challenging time because, it's 4th of July. It's time to honor our country, to be grateful for our country, and there are many things I'm grateful for. But it also feels like we're very divided right now, socially, politically, religiously, in a lot of ways. And what I know is that Spirit holds all of this country and the whole world as one. That there's no differences in the mind and heart of Spirit. And for me, I need to step back into that to remember that, because I can get caught up in the division. And it's important as we continue to seek a world that works for everyone, that we honor everyone. And I think sometimes our strongly held beliefs or opinions get in the way of seeing the wholeness and oneness of all people. Last week I was made some emotional statements about that I believed, and based on the teachings of our Centers for Spiritual Living, I believed in advocating for the rights of women to choose what happened to their own body. And to tell you the truth, ministers in our faith and unity across this nation said that last Sunday, because it was such an impactful statement. At the same time, while I said that, I'm not sure I was considerate. And considering is a big word to me. That means it's not that I'm rude or mean, but I want to be considerate or consider what other people might be feeling during this time. I didn't consider the possibility, well, I did, I just didn't say it at the time, I thought about it ahead of time, that some people in our community believe would neither encourage abortion or would have it for themselves. I didn't consider the possibility some people, it would only be in extreme cases. And other people who would do anything to have a baby, to be pregnant. If we want to create a world that works for everyone, we need to be considerate of all views. And the basic beliefs of our Centers for Spiritual Living says we want to be inclusive of all people. Now, I also say I will continue to express my views when it's based in spirituality, when it's based on human rights. Not a political view, but a human rights. And I still think this is a human rights decision. And I still believe that pro-choice is part of who we are as a denomination. But I also think that there's value in pro-life, because I believe all life is sacred, that we are connected to all life, and this decision is very individual according to the person, the family, the couple, and we need to honor that in all people. And that's true in all things, whatever our opinions might be. Now, I know that I will continue, as I said, to be an advocate. I posted this on my Facebook page, that as a minister, I will support, I will marry anybody who it's a marriage of love. And I will support access to reproductive care, period. That's my own stance. And it's based on our spiritual beliefs here at the Centers for Spiritual Living, and I want to be inclusive of all people where you are right now. I will also support you if you're pregnant and want to keep the baby, even though it's not the perfect circumstances. I will support you in your choices and your life choices. And that's where pro-life and pro-choice can live in the same community, in the same heart that we hold. And, I always have an and here, don't I? I will continue to be proactive in that way. I ran across something this week that I could really resonate with. You've probably heard of St. Francis's prayer, Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace, which I think is a beautiful inspiration for me. But I came across a re-edit of that that's a little different, I think you'll find. It didn't have a source, so I don't know who to attribute to. So I own it now, I guess. It's mine. So this is the way this reads. Lord, make me a channel of thy disturbance. Where there's apathy, let me provoke. Where there's compliance, let me bring questioning. Where there is silence, may I be a voice. Where there's too much comfort and too little action, grant thy disruption. Where there are doors closed and hearts locked, grant the willingness to listen. Where laws dictate and pain is overlooked. When tradition speaks louder than need, grant that I may seek to act towards justice for all rather than just to talk about it. Disturb us, O Lord, to be with as well as for the alienated, and guide us to do the same. To love the unlovable as well as the lovely, and guide us to do the same. Spirit, I allow myself to be a channel of thy disturbance. In ministerial school, we had the saying that part of our purpose was to comfort the afflicted and to afflict the comfortable. So if you leave a little uncomfortable today, or you feel comforted, either one, I think I've done my job today. So, what I know in this idea of better together, that we're better together and we can be better together. There is a currentness and a continuing evolution of this community, and that we seek to have this week's topic, liberty for all. Now, liberty is an interesting word in that in the American version, these are the United States Americans who dumped the tea in the Boston Harbor, that often liberty is considered an independent freedom, independent of everybody. Leave me alone. I want to be free. But in the more European and Canadian form of liberty, it's liberty, a communal liberty that we do. In fact, there's often a desire for the government, for the institution to help with that liberty. And I think where I would love to see our government is somewhere in between that, to make sure that everybody has an opportunity. But the truth is, we each need to find our own freedom. But we want to make sure there's no obstacles in the way, whether it be economic or social or religious, whatever those obstacles are. And as a community, we can participate in community work. We can advocate for certain policies. We can work with other nonprofits that help remove those obstacles so everyone has an opportunity to be free. And I know this faith has always been a part of that, a part of this deeper connection, this deeper life we have. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, talked about a spiritual democracy. A spiritual democracy where we each have our own freedom. We find our freedom. We open to that which is within us. For spirit, the nature of spirit within us is seeking us to be free of anything holding us back. Past traumas, current restrictions, future obstacles we might have. The Spirit is always guiding us towards this liberty and this freedom and this openness and this willingness to do that. Ernest Holmes liked to quote Heraclitus. It was a philosopher in ancient Greek who said, "The one is made up of all things, and all things issue from the one." The one is made of all things, and all things issue from the one. To talk about this oneness, and in that it opens up in us. With it, we can have many expressions, and all of us are one, and out of the one comes the many. And what's interesting is this became the basis for the United States motto, which is out of the many one, which both means talking about we come from many different countries and continents, and we all to come together as one nation. But I also like to imagine it and believe it as oneness, that out of the many, we are one nation. And to find this place and connect in this place that is one nation, to bring us all together, is a belief I hold strongly, is a belief that I want to know that we can use these principles we teach here of oneness, wholeness, harmony, love, order, freedom, and find the ways that we can experience freedom and share that freedom with others. We're not the only ones doing this, by the way. I'm not one that's saying we know the way. The faith and the theology of liberation is common among many religions: Buddhism, Hinduism, Sikhism, Baha'i, progressive Christians, evangelical, charismatic, New Thought Christians as well. And this is like Yvette Flunders and Carlton Pearson. These people are, instead of one of salvation, where we're in that theology, we're considered less than and will never measure up. The one of liberation is seeking to be free. And it is Spirit through us that is this freedom that allows us to open to a greater consciousness within us and a greater consciousness within all of life. What I know is, as Albert Einstein says, that our current situations, the solution, we need a higher consciousness than the consciousness that created this situation. And we alone can join with all the people who are in this theology of liberation to seek for us to be free and for this nation to come together as one, to let go of our differences and recognize that we can still have our differences. I don't mean I want people to give up their differences. I think it makes us smarter, more creative, more powerful. It's more fun to have a diversity of race, culture, religion, orientation, gender identity, all of that. It makes the world a better place, more fun. It's like in the kitchen, if you only had one spice, you couldn't make very good food. It's the life that is more beautiful, more powerful to have this diversity. I just want us to respect each other and be kind and compassionate and find a way to listen to each other without thinking that's something personal about us. That we can just find that consideration for other people. And I think this is found in the oneness that is all. The oneness that is if we can step back, if we can be in contemplation and experience Spirit in that way that embraces all of us. Because first of all, let's look at ourselves. And we are so complex. We have so many aspects of our psyche and our thinking and our soul and our expression. And Spirit says all of that is good. All of that is okay. And from this place, when I feel this love, knowing that I am accepted, the Spirit has me, I know the Spirit has all of us as well, and in all of our diversity. So as we seek to find this liberty for all, what I know is that it can be found. Liberty and justice for all of us, that there's no exceptions. That's kind of fun to see it right out, so I'll do it again. And this is the truth of who we know, and we also know that there is liberty for those in the oneness, because we can find this truth, this liberty, this freedom in the oneness because it holds all. That there's this deeper connection here. I'm inspired by the Africans who were kidnapped, basically, and forced into ships and brought over here to the United States to be slaves. And they began to hear stories of Jesus and those stories, and they didn't buy into the salvation part of it. They bought into the liberation part of it. And they heard those stories of Moses, how he brought the Jews out of slavery, how different people in all through the Bible is one of liberation. And so in their faith, in their songs, and in the stories they told to each other, they found in their heart a way to be free while they were slaves. Many of them, I'm not saying all of them. If they can find freedom while they're slaves, I can find freedom where I am right now. And I also know what we believe in this faith is that before you experience something in your life, you need to have a mental equivalent of it. You need to experience it within yourself first. And so for these slaves to experience freedom within their heart, then they knew how to create it. And yes, they were willing to die sometimes to threaten that. But they kept seeking this freedom, seeking this liberty that they could find. Maya Angelou, I love her poetry, and she talks about how the caged bird sings. Even though it sings of things not known. There are things in our life that we can sing for, that we can know is true even when we don't know the pathway for what that is. Surely the African slaves didn't know the pathway of freedom, but they still were seeking it. They were seeking guidance. And many of them did find the guidance to become free in that way. And freedom bore out, and it continues to be that. And it is in this place of oneness that we know. There was this research study done a few years ago, probably a decade ago, and they were seeking to find people's response to a movie that was shown in a theater, and they hooked them up to, EKGs and different kinds of monitors, and they showed this movie and just see what kind of response people had to it. And what they found, first of all, is people had really such a variety of responses that no one had any kind of, like at a certain scene there might be a jump or something, but they had different heart rates go up at different times depending on what they were seeing. Maybe someone saw the romance of it, somebody saw the adventures, somebody saw the challenge of an underlying character or something. But here's what's interesting. They found out something they didn't think they would find out. As the movie continued, heart rates and breathing synced up. So when we are in community, in this moment, you are all watching this, listening to me, we are syncing up our heart rates and our breathing without even realizing it. Because it's a natural thing of humans to connect with this oneness, to sense this, to be this. And it's this oneness that if we're willing to be in, to open up in, that we can find the oneness and we can find our own liberation. After the service, I'm going to lead a few things in honor of Van Davis, and one of my favorite songs, and actually she loved the Beatles too, but one of my favorite songs by the Beatles is Blackbird. And I can't play it this morning because we're streaming, and there's copyright laws with that song. But I think you know, most of you, if you were singing to that song they sang earlier, you know the song Blackbird. So Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird sing. This is the singing within us that seeks to be free. We may think we are broken, but these are the wings by which we can fly. We may not be able to see the way, but it is Spirit in us that seeks to break free through us as us, and to allow us to be more creative and more powerful by willing to be in this place of oneness, to be and to acknowledge that we are on sacred ground. The next thing I want to, there was a little joke. I think I passed this by. If you want to know how the West was won, this was a little Buddhist joke here. The West was won, O-N-E, that is. So all the cowboys learned to meditate. Even though what I know is that what I want you to know, even the horse, right? What I want you to know is this is the way we become one, is spiritual practice. It doesn't have to look like this, but it can mean we just take time to step back from life and recognize our connection with Spirit. And, you know, by the way, I don't know if you know this, the rest of the country calls the West Coast the left coast. Do you know that? Yeah. So here we are on the left coast, but this is the way the West Coast was won, right? And I also know that there's liberty for those who allow Spirit to be the love, the compassion, the peace through us as we're willingness to do this. I don't know if you can see this image, but it's an amazing image that I couldn't find the artist for. But it's of a female, almost mythological individual, but it seems she is connected with all of life, and it seems like she is allowing Spirit to come through her as her in love, compassion, and peace. And for me, just looking at this and the aliveness of this picture inspired me to think about those. I also thought about the Bible verse that basically says all things work together for good for those who are connected to the love of Spirit, that are in this love and all things. And does seem to be a harmony that happens when we're in this love, an opening to this, that we open to life itself. There's a Hindu concept of ahisma, which Gandhi talked a lot about, and in the Western states it was interpreted as nonviolence. So we talk about nonviolent marches, nonviolent communication, season of nonviolence. But really, it's not about what it's not, it's what it is, and it's about engaged compassion, engaged kindness. So it's a practice of recognizing people and being in community. Gandhi called it an inter-community. Martin Luther King called it a beloved community. And it's also interesting what Dr. King talked about. He said it's not enough to be segregated, non-segregated, to be all different races together. But we need to have an integration. He says it's not enough for our elbows to be close if our hearts are apart. So we find this place of an openness, a more creativity to allow us to be connected with each other as one heart, one soul. And we know from this place of engagement, from this place of consideration, from this place of respect, that we can come together as one. And the way we do that is to recognize this peace and this love and this compassion that's within us. Because I tell you, I have my limit. I think any human has their limit of love. But as spirit within me, I have no limit. I am fully re-energized, reconnected to love, reimagining possibility because spirit within me lifts me up in that way, even when I'm tired, even when I'm ready to give up on this. Spirit says, no, no, no. There is so much here. This is a spiritual democracy. The founding fathers believed in something even though they themselves weren't practicing it then. Many of them had slaves. Many of them didn't recognize that the indigenous cultures already had this harmony and peace figured out. We based our country, our Constitution, on the Iroquois Indians, the Native Americans, and still we ran over them, ostracized, and committed genocide. And we move forward now looking for a new way. And it's possible. Spirit in me is clear that it's possible. And what I know is that we can have this liberty for all people. Not just for some people, not for those who believe in certain things or do certain things, that liberty is available for all people. We often think it's a spiritual journey as a solo adventure, and I want to assure you it can be solo. What I do initially is solo, a recognition, a realization of spirit within me, but it's meant to be in community, which includes our furry friends, which includes relationships that are, too much of, I think, of our society and culture depends on that couple relationship. And couple relationship is great. And yet, there's so much more to friends, the loyal friends, the true friends, the friends that support you. And yes, your partner can be your friend also, but we have so much more that relies on something greater. A connection that is brothers and sisters, right? Not just brothers, but brothers and sisters and children and our animal friends as well, that bring this deeper connection and allow us to go forth together. There's a Buddhist concept about, I mentioned before, about the Hyana Buddhism, which means little raft, or the other kind of Buddhism, which means the big raft, which is more community. So the little raft is easier to control, but it's the mutual consciousness in the big raft that we do together that brings about global transformation, global consciousness, global aliveness, that we don't have to be asleep anymore in our consciousness. We can wake up to something greater within us. And I believe now is the time, is the best time, is the now time, right? Because it's the only time we have is the now time to create networks of recognizing life and love, and to be this love, to make deeper connection, to make friends, to make magic, to make sense, to make art, and to make amends, to make time, to make change, to make peace in our hearts and on this planet, So as we go forth as cooperative partners, interdependent members of our families, communities, and species, as consciously coexistent inhabitants of our planet and conscientious creators of our combined future. That we move from celebrating independence, yes, but celebrating our interdependence. So happy Interdependence Day. Let us go to prayer. What I know in truth right now is that the Spirit within me, within all of us, is one of liberation. That it seeks for me to be liberated, it seeks for us to be liberated. So what I know is that we know that which stands in our way, that which keeps us from knowing this liberation in our hearts. And we let that go and we step out into the world as liberated, awakened souls that make a difference in this planet by kindness and consideration and compassion and a willingness to be and to listen and to open. For this is the truth, the Spirit within us that seeks to express in this way, and for this I'm so, so grateful. And so it is.
You say you wanna feel safe, you gotta get freedom. Oh, you wanna do something great, you have gotta get freedom. Wanna go to a better place, gotta get freedom. Say things you don't wanna face, come on, get some freedom. Everybody want freedom. Everybody want freedom. Everybody want freedom. Everybody want freedom.
Track, but I don't know Jack. Gonna find the road to freedom. So I went to town and I looked around. See so many frowns. So I got on the bus, got a seat for us, waiting straight for freedom. Got off at the park and stayed till dark, tuning into freedom. Everybody wants freedom. Freedom in my soul. I'm feeling whole. Oh, yeah. Freedom in my heart. It's a real good start. Freedom from all thought. It can't be bought. Freedom from the pain. Let me say it again. Everybody want freedom. Everybody want freedom. Hey, everybody want freedom. Everybody want freedom. Freedom.
Freedom, like a lightning freedom like liberation. You got something to teach, it's something just out of reach. You got the pinnacle of life, you gotta give freedom. Freedom, yeah. Everybody, everybody want freedom. 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 Hey.
That's awesome. Everybody love freedom. How many times can you say everybody, right? Love it. And we do love freedom. We do. Thank you so much for being here today, this time when we invite you to be part of the law of circulation. We invite you to support our center, our vision, our community in identifiable ways. We so appreciate that. We know that which you give comes back to you tenfold, and we appreciate your support of our vision. So you'll see online there are many ways to give. You can do it texting. There it is. Or online, or checks made out to NVCSL. There's baskets in front and back. You're willing, you can give. You can donate to these baskets either in front or back, either way you choose. And what I would appreciate is if you would affirm today with me, whether it's a gift of love today or a financial contribution, hold your hand over your heart and we can affirm divine love as me blesses, multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is.
Wanna thank you. Your love set me free. I just wanna thank you for all you bring to me. I just wanna thank you. Your love has set me free. So we just bless these donations if you've given of your heart and your soul, knowing that it is blessed and you're blessed right where you are. And so it is. We also like to bless those who might be here for the first time. If you're willing to raise your hand, we have a gift. I'm not sure you were here when we did the blessing. So we have a little card for you also right next to them. Anybody else here who might be here for the first time? We've got somebody right here. And of course, Shauna's mom is here from Florida. We welcome you. And then right there, great.
know that we are a community that is open to conversations. We always have conversations afterwards. We'll have a time for coffee and conversation before our picnic starts today, so feel free to join us for that. But we also have a blessing for you and anybody who here might be here for the first time online as well. We welcome you, and we just raise our hands for those who are here, and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. Thank you for being with us today, and if you have any questions, we're around here, practitioners, myself, as well as you can find more information about us online at nvscsl.org. So thank you for being a part of this. And now for our community affirmation. Oh no, there's something else here. Today is the first Sunday in July, so I need to step back a little bit, don't I? And I need to ask if anybody has, and July is a momentous time for birthdays, because we have like 4 people who have birthdays on, what is it, July 7th or something? Oh, another one, another. How many people have their birthday on July 7th? And there's a couple of people, and Janet Champion, and Joey. That's well, there's 4 of you today as well. So, anybody else have a birthday in July? We're okay. More July, more July, more July. That's wonderful. And how about anniversaries? Anniversaries in July. Anniversary. How many, Susan? Yay! 11. 11 for Michelle and I. Any other anniversaries? 11. Oh, how about that? I didn't realize that. Same year. Anybody else? And then also we celebrate, even though it's anonymous, any recovery anniversaries. We also honor that path that you walk, that you continue to walk, and we honor that. So the same blessing goes for you. We honor you. Let's just lift up our hands and say, we bless you right now. We bless you. And all those July birthdays. So. All right. Now, the community affirmation. Repeat after me. Something wonderful has happened through me right now. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I'm led by Spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I'm protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And now for our closing song, let's all stand up. So as we go forward, let's be free today. And so it is. Have a great Sunday.